5 years ago, I hit record on a microphone and Wyrd Realities was born. It started with one episode on RH negative blood types. It was just me, Gracie, a wild-eyed a fascination for mysteries that hide between science, myth, and imagination. Since then, Wyrd Realities has grown into so much more. A network, a family, a gathering place for dreamers, seekers, movie files, storytellers, truth chasers, and you got it, weird kids. Together, we've explored the strange, the spooky, and the seen. We've shared stories of spirits, of legends, of true crimes, forgotten places, whispered histories, and even conspiracies. And tonight, on Halloween night, we're celebrating 5 years of stories, spirits, and the supernatural. To every listener, co-host, guest, and friend who's walked this weird path with me, thank you for believing in imagination, for daring to question, and for keeping the weird alive. So here's to the next 5 years of Wyrd Realities. Let's keep it weird.
Hello. Yar.
Yay!
Well, welcome. I see some familiar faces, but I will say that I don't know that anyone but Morgana has actually had the pleasure of meeting the co-founder of Wyrd Realities, Miss Gracie Ellison.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Gracie has been lurking for years. I think I've got a trick-or-treater. She's been lurking for years on our little chat list. So she's there and she's been around, but she, due to work obligations and a big move, she has kind of stepped sideways from us. But she's always in the background cheering us on.
That's right.
So I was telling everybody before the show started that Gracie and I started off, and I don't even remember what platform we were using at the time.
I don't either.
It was Podbean. And there's only one reason I remember it, because later on we started talking about trying to do calls, and I think you two had some experiences with
Yeah. Well, we tried a lot of stuff, but I think Gracie was in the bathroom on her cell phone, and it was echoing. And we just had the sound was terrible. The next time I think we used Zoom.
Yes, we did.
But yeah, that Podbean, we did a live show with live call-ins, and we had a gentleman who was having his way with himself, who joined us. Yes.
Yes, he joined us.
So it was a good show. No.
It was for him.
It was
that
him.
his pay-per-view or anything? I mean, you might as well get money off of this.
Right.
Only weird.
Hey, Landa. Happy Halloween, everybody. And what a great time for Wyrd Realities to have been born, right?
Yes.
What's up, Landa?
It's the most wonderful day of the year.
It is. It is. So I've got a couple of little videos I wanted to share. I think that some people that y'all might have met, maybe seen, heard of, kind of reached out and spread some love. So hold on just a minute, and I'm going to. This is our original podcast producer, Miss Lauren Smith from Night Callers Productions.
Huge shout out to Wyrd Realities Network for hitting 5 incredible years. Here's to half a decade of mystery and magic. Stay safe and be weird.
I thought that was really sweet of her.
Yes.
Some of y'all know Lauren's been podcasting for probably about 15 years now. She does Night Callers Bigfoot Radio. It's
Oh yeah.
she's pretty big in the Bigfoot world. Her mom is probably one of the original female Bigfoot researchers in North America.
Oh,
And
wow.
Lauren kind of was I think, taken as a child out into the woods, and now she's taken her kids, and it's kind of a tradition with their family. But she's a pretty cool girl, and that was really nice. And I've got another one from one of our favorites, and I'm going to use one of Rich Restucci's introductions.
Oh no.
So hold on. Bigfoot, Logan Craft, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or the skunk ape. Logan hunts them all. Not with a rifle, but with a camera, a six-pack, and an attitude. Logan is difficult to track because he's always on the hunt. There have been a few craft sightings the past year all over the southern U.S., but none have been confirmed, and all photos are somewhat grainy. He does wear a size 34 shoe. And Logan is another of our behind-the-scenes operative who specializes in the digital world and tear gas. So here's a message from Logan.
What's up, everybody? So I want to give a big shout out to the Wyrd Realities crew. Hadley, Alan, Rich, Scott, everybody else involved. I was there at the beginning when Wyrd Realities was just an idea. It was a startup. And to see what it has turned into over the last 5 years makes me proud, and I know sure as hell it makes all of y'all proud. That's 5 years of movie reviews. That's 5 years of interviews. That's 5 years of getting on a podcast and talking about any and everything weird that you could find. Congratulations. Happy 5-year anniversary. Stay strong.
That's cool.
Yeah, Logan is incredible. He was our original, he produced all of our videos when they were professionally done before before he outgrew our budget, which was very small. But he's great. He does the Bigfoot Bash in Texas.
Yep, Uncertain Bigfoot Bash. They just had last weekend before,
which we sponsored, by the way. And we sent some gigs, and some stuff, and yeah, love Logan. He sent me a t-shirt. I love it. Y'all, if you hadn't had him on your show, if you hadn't watched his show, if you hadn't checked him out, you should totally do it. He is truly one of the funniest people I've ever met. Very quirky and fun.
He's also a huge Waffle House aficionado.
Oh, no.
He loves awful waffle.
Yep. He said his goal was to go to every Waffle House that there is.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
A lot of waffles.
Kill him.
Well, Morgana, I'll tell you this. His current lady love has got family in D'Iberville. So he's planning on coming to the Waffle Houses along the Gulf Coast.
See, I told him, I guess it was last year, we were on for something. I think we were doing the little, the bit, about the Russians and the spaceships and stuff.
That was fun.
And he said something about, going to all the Waffle Houses. I'm like, yeah, we've got a 2-story one. He goes, what? What do you mean a 2-story one? I'm like, yeah. I said, it's on the beachfront. So it's like, a story that there's nobody, that's just for the water and stuff. And then it's up on the 2nd floor. And he's like, okay, I have to come to Mississippi now. So goals, we should all have them.
Yes. Well, and I will tell Ricky and Bethany, because I'm sure they don't know this, but when there's a hurricane, you can tell how severe it is by whether or not the Waffle House has been closed.
Yep.
Well,
I mean,
It's the Waffle House Index.
Seriously. That's usually where the folks are having their headquarters, because they stay open.
Waffle House and Domino's Pizza on the Mississippi and Louisiana Gulf coasts. One of their slogans, and it's because of storms, is first to open and last to close, because it's the same with them. They do not close until they just do not have an option. So if you want pizza and
midnight,
huh?
I don't. Did we know who that is?
Who's that?
Text After Midnight.
that is Eddie.
Hey,
Hello.
Eddie.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah, he's on Blondes Books and Campfire Tales, or he watches it.
Awesome.
Well, welcome to the Wild Bunch here. So I was going to ask Gracie if she wanted to talk about some RH negative for a minute.
Sure.
So I know Morgana and her crew did a follow-up show, and I think that it outdid ours. And I've been wanting to revisit it, but why do you think that topic is such a hot button?
I think it's just because it's so unusual and rare. And, if you are into science or into health or anything like that, you understand how unique that is. And, there's also all the stories about, hey, they're not of Earth, or they're fallen angels, or they have these special characteristics. And there's so much, history and lore behind that whole topic that it's really fascinating. And it kind of touches on all kinds of areas of interest. So yeah, I can see where it would be very popular and pull people in.
Morgana, what do you think?
The same. And then when you go to research it and look for information, one, there's very little. So if you can find one that, at least makes a little bit of sense, or that, rings a little bit true, then you kind of dig down into it.
Right.
So I think that's a lot of it, is it's just really hard to find valid information about it, or, even, because there are different outlooks, like I say, some think that, some think that, has to do with, certain groups of people and everything. So regardless of where you stand, none of them have a ton of information. So I think that's what people look for.
So Ricky, my question for you is, are you RH negative?
Well, I don't know. I might be O positive for all I know.
You don't know your blood type?
No, actually, I don't. I've always been curious.
They sell a kit on Amazon for $8.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, just
we
FYI.
moved around- well, we're military brats, and so we moved around so often that I've never actually fully read any of the required readings at school, nor, but I often had to take the test for them, not knowing what they were. And in science and stuff, I was at different ones all the time and never did like the blood test or anything like that. So no, I don't know my blood type.
Bethany?
I know I'm A positive, but that's only because I thought I did really well on my test when I went and donated blood.
Me
They were
too.
like, no, sweetie. No, sweetie. That's your blood type. But I actually don't know anything about that other one. So I haven't heard of that before.
Gracie, would you like to educate us?
Sure, absolutely. So it kind of started for me when I was pregnant a few years ago. And of course, you always get tested. And it turned out I was RH negative. And, this was like 14 years ago. And I went online and I was looking through it. I was like, oh my goodness, like there are so many different thought processes and different conspiracies that have to do with the RH negative. It's fascinating, and like you said, I think that lack of information has really created an amazing vacuum for a lot of people to push out these different thoughts and theories. And it's almost creative. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it's anything from, it's aliens created a subrace of humans. There was one for fallen angels and Nephilim, and then one was the direct descendants of Mary Magdalene. And it's like you see all these different areas you can look at, and you just keep getting sucked in further and further. And like I said, the interest just goes across the board. Like, it's interesting in any interest that you have, whether it be scientific or woo.
Well, and I'll drop this on you because this, you can look at this however you want to, from a historical standpoint, from a science standpoint, or from a conspiracy, which is every president has been, U.S. president has been Rh negative.
Interesting.
Yep. Do you know we've only ever gotten 2 comments on YouTube for Wyrd Awakenings, and one of them was on our Rh negative, and the comment was, because we cut up a lot and everything, that we were being much too happy for such a serious subject, that we should have been more serious during our presentation. But
that's serious.
So I'm like, oh, all right. We'll keep that in mind next time. I did find ours. We've got 3.5K views on it.
Nice.
So like I said, people do. They love the subject. And like I said, especially if you can give them some information they haven't come across. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you have to dig because it's difficult to find.
It's fascinating. Mm-hmm. Rh negative blood type people cannot be cloned. Mm-hmm. That's a interesting. And I'm not Rh negative. My dad was, so I carry it, but I'm AB. Which, if you start looking at the blood types, and like, y'all need to find out your blood type, because it tells a lot about your personality, about like what you can eat. It's really very interesting. But AB blood type is one of the rarest because they don't know where it came from. It just kind of created itself, and they think it's from when the Mongols were raiding Europe and were raping. Excuse me, I guess I shouldn't say that. Having
relations with
unwanted relations with the people of Europe, and it just kind of created itself, but they don't really know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a mutant, Landa.
Yeah. RH runs in my family. I'm not RH, but like I said, probably 7 or 8 of my first cousins on my dad's side are. But yeah, it does tend to a lot of times run in families. And if you are Rh negative and you have a child that is not Rh negative, they have to give you shots after you have the baby.
Before and after.
Okay. I didn't know the before, but I definitely knew the after.
Yep. And it's strange because it's the only instance in biology where a human mother could reject their child, and that's fascinating. And back in the olden days where they used to do blood tests before someone got married, that was one of the things they were checking for.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's fascinating. Like I said, there's so many different rabbit holes you can go down into. There's only certain, what is it, in France?
It's the Basque people. The Basque people, I think 48% of the people of that race are Rh negative. The highest concentration in the world.
We might be 4H negative. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, that works.
We come from a family of farmers and such.
Isn't there a region
positive?
Isn't there a region in Africa?
I don't know, but hang on, and I will do some digging real quick.
And there's so many other theories too, saying that Rh negative people have more copper in their blood, and that's where some of the blue blood history came from. It's fascinating.
Well, I thought blue blood was just because the oxygen hasn't hit it yet, so that's why it's blue in your veins.
Yeah, like I said, there's just so many things out there, and it's everybody's got their own unique spin on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm over here looking at my veins now. I'm like, what do I got?
You're like, hey, what?
Well, when we were
my undertone
pigs and stuff in science, the veins and stuff, they had blue and red, and it was due to the dye that was in there. it would actually interact with whatever
Oh.
particular to do that. So I don't know.
Outside of Europe, Rh negative blood is very uncommon. There is a rate of below 1% in Asians, indigenous populations, and oceanic peoples. But the Basque overall being the highest concentration.
Like European.
15% of the population. And it has ties with the Nephilim. It had ties with aliens, enhanced abilities about people with Rh blood supposedly having higher IQs, more psychic, lower body temperature. They're redheads with light hair. With light eyes. And there's a big conspiracy about that the government actually has hidden the truth about the origins to conceal humanity's mixed heritage.
With the lizard people.
Yeah, or alien involvement. ...
And that one's interesting. The other thing that I want to touch on at some point, maybe over the next year when, we start, bumping up stuff, is redheads. Redheads are technically mutants because they are genetically different than every other group. And, they feel pain differently. There are just so many things about them. So like I said, I think that there could be a really cool tie-in between.
FYI, Gracie and her daughter are redheads.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are.
You're double mutants.
I know, right?
Yep. So, because I've got a granddaughter that's a redhead, and I've got a niece that's a redhead, and they have like National Redheads Day every year, and I had posted, shout out to them a couple of years ago, and then Heather just starts kicking off stuff of like, redheads have to have more anesthesia when having surgery than anyone else. They have a higher pain threshold than other people. So, like I said, I would like to do some research to see what the occurrence of Rh negative is when it comes to redheads.
Well, my cousin Mitchell is he's half Native American, and he is a redhead.
Mm-hmm.
And his father, who is full-blooded Native American, is a McDonald. So, go figure that. But it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of, weird and mutant tend to go hand in hand.
Speaking of weird, so this week in Jasper County, Mississippi, we had an overturned truck with lab test subject monkeys that
I saw that.
What killed me though is, at one point there was like, oh no, they're perfectly fine. Just don't go near them. But there's nothing wrong with them. And then it was, I think, Hep C, COVID, and it was one other one. Oh, crap, I can't remember now. But it was one other disease. And I'm like, okay, if they don't have anything, why are they taking them out? They aren't trying to capture them. They're taking them out. So I tend to believe more the whole side of, they were contaminated and, which really just, you hear, oh, they don't test on animals anymore. Bullshit. Just FYI.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, that was interesting. As a matter of fact, my husband, when I was telling him about it, he goes, where's that at? I'm like, Jasper County. I said, where are you at? He goes, hell, I don't know. I said, well, it was on some highway at exit 117. He goes, okay, well, I'm at 118, and that's probably what all those flashing lights are. And then when he got there were game wardens and highway patrol all over the place. So, like, okay, you found him.
It has been.
Did they ever find the last one?
No, he's probably halfway to Texas by now.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, I was outside earlier, and I don't live near Jasper County, but I did hear something in the woods that sounded like a monkey. So I was like, that's all Crane Witch Hollow needs is a monkey.
That's right. And hey, that's a good place for one to disappear.
I was letting my best friend know about the monkey turnover, because this to me is how the apocalypse starts, right? It's always with the monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
So
Rhesus monkey usually, yeah, or
well,
bat.
that's what these weren't they? They were rhesus monkey.
Yes, they were rhesus monkeys. So what are you seeing, Landa? Is it like double people?
It is probably because they've updated StreamYard, and it gave me the option of doing it, and this was the suggested alternative for YouTube, was where you could do it either vertical or horizontal.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what it looks like, but I'm guessing that's why.
Yeah.
I figure it's just double the love.
Yeah.
Double the special.
That's right. There you go. Hey, I love seeing monstrous usses. So, Gracie,
Yes.
when are you going to hop back on and do something with us in the future?
I hope so. I hope soon.
Okay.
I think it would be great to get back into it.
If nothing else, maybe we do another updated RH and just, get everybody that's interested in doing it.
Well, every week I see something stranger and stranger, and I need to talk about it. So, yes.
See, that's how Wyrd Realities got born. This is what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
When we were talking, and we were co-workers who became good friends because, and I'll say this, I fell in love with her when, and I didn't really know her, but I hear somebody's phone go off, and it's Animal from the Muppet Show. And I said, where is my person at?
Where's my person?
So, but this is what we talk about. And whenever we talk on the telephone, she's moved away and I've moved down south. So we're a little bit, we try and talk about once a week. But it's about, and she's who told me about the comet.
Mm-hmm.
Which.
You mean the hidden spaceship?
Whatever that thing is.
Well, it's supposed to get us this month coming up, so
it's really my current weird obsession right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never heard the same thing twice about it.
Well, and there are scientists saying, this looks more like a ship than a comet.
Really, when you have someone at Harvard saying, this looks like it might be a manned airship, you're like, oh, okay.
Great.
Yeah. It's Harvard guy.
Right.
Telling me that a spaceship is coming.
Uh-huh.
Oh, party school, maybe is a spaceship. Mm-hmm. Maybe he was partying.
Which comment?
As long as it doesn't swing around and hit us, because I have always said that we're the planet, when the aliens are coming, they make their kids roll up the windows and they go faster.
Don't look outside, kids.
Lock the door.
Don't look at them.
Lock the door. Just let's hurry up, don't stop. Just let's go.
Don't
really
make eye contact, kids.
Saturn or Jupiter, but
Yeah. I think the last I heard, didn't it? It's like going behind the sun right now and circling back around. Is that?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Which comet is it?
It's the 3-eye Atlas.
Is that the lemon?
The
one that you can see right now, or this last week?
No, I don't think this is the same one. No, the lemon is not the same one.
Oh, okay.
And we also currently have a second mini moon.
Yes,
I heard that.
Yep.
What?
Yes, it's not, but they say that it's probably about 40 to 50 meters in diameter, but it has gotten caught into our gravitational pull, and for about the next 4 to 5 years, we will have a second mini moon.
Our ocean's going to be so confused,
right?
Well, when we were young, Pluto was a planet.
Yep.
And they took him away from us. And now they're giving us a second moon. I'm not going to know anything about astrology.
No. Pluto also had its moon, Sharon.
Uh-huh. That's
So-
right. Well, see, that is my okay. I know the man is smart and everything, but I have a personal grudge against Neil deGrasse Tyson because he was instrumental in demoting Pluto.
Mhm.
I will always have that feeling about him, even though it was addressed in the Big Bang Theory because Sheldon didn't like him either for the same reason.
Yes,
I didn't do it by myself. It doesn't matter. Your name was all over it.
exactly.
And
You are
so-
associated. You will forever be associated with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Where does the buck stop?
That's right. There you go. So, there are 2 meteor showers in November, the northern Taurid and the southern Taurid. And there's a possibility there's like a tiny bit of overlap between them where their tails could cross. And if that happens, then we are apt to see a big flare
Ooh.
on like the 16th or 17th of November. So that could be interesting.
Well, I should have time again after that. So,
Mhm.
is it dark out at where you live, or?
Well, darker than it is where you know, out in town.
I don't live in town though.
Well, I don't know how close you live to town. I've got to get to your house. I was coming tonight, but you canceled.
I told you. I don't remember that, but
I have a text.
I'm not saying it
Have a
didn't happen.
text. Morgana's got receipts.
Mhm.
Decided to do a podcast or something.
Right. But it's relatively dark. Like I said, we don't have a ton light pollution, but there are definitely still better places. If I got about another 10 miles north, it would be a little bit better.
Well,
That's
I
when
got
you lose-
22,000 acres of crane refuge behind my house.
Mm-hmm.
We can go back there.
There you
That's
go.
one of the beauties to being in an astronomy town. You know, Tucson has, well, we have Kit Peak Observatory and such, and light pollution is at a lower thing because there's city ordinance versus certain laws or light
We
things.
have a
So,
Kitts Peak on one side and the Mount Lemon Observatory on the other side.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which that's why I was asking about the lemon comet, because that was actually discovered in Tucson, hence why it's called the lemon, because it's off
Oh,
the
okay,
Mount Lemon
gotcha.
one.
Yeah, that one you can actually see right now, can't you, in certain places in the country?
Yeah, we tried to find it at my parents' house, but we had a bonfire going, so we couldn't see.
Yeah,
It was hard. Yeah.
well,
Really
that's like, every year I'm like, okay, I'm going to get out there and watch the Leonids. It's supposed to be like 12 to 14 comets, per hour. And I'm
Yeah.
out there with a blanket shaking going, where are the damn comets?
There's usually cloud cover. In my experience, whenever there's something very cool going on, there's a lot of low hanging clouds. But now that I moved, I'm hoping this is a different story.
Yeah. Like I said, that's my biggest thing is, like I said, it's, and sometimes it's cloudy, but I mean, for the most part, like I said, I have laid out on my porch for hours freezing, because it's like, we have 2 days of winter down here and it never fails. It's always when I want to get outside and watch a meteor shower. But, I never see them. I did get to see the Northern Lights last time. So, yay.
Oh, cool.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we've got several coming up in November. So
Very cool. Well, I am free. I am free as a bird after November 6th. So,
I did go get a ticket.
hallelujah.
Now, I will try my damnedest to remember and get out of work on time. But regardless, you've got my money. So that counts.
Well, I want to see your face, but
I
I
know,
will be working. But there'll be some people there that you will know.
Mhm.
Jennifer's going to be there. Jennifer Sammons, formerly of the Wild Women of Wyrd. I think Finley might come, and there'll be some other folks there.
Cool. That'll
But,
work.
so there's a lady locally who is starting a ghost tour of Ocean Springs.
Is that the Sage and Apothecary?
Yep.
Yep.
And Bethany, this might be of interest to you, but I talked to her about carrying my book.
Yeah.
And just on consignment, and she was interested. So if you want to send me some books, I'll take one with mine.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll send them out. Thank
Cool.
you.
Yeah, I did get by there. It was one weekend, I think, when you were working or up in Jackson or something. And I just happened to be over in that area and stopped by. So I am currently working on my home apothecary. So fun.
Very cool. Well, I want to go to that Pendragon Apothecary too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I didn't make it by there, and the last time I tried to go by there, he was closed. So
that's what happened when I went.
Mm-hmm. I think he's one of those people that just decides, hey, I'm going to open today. And if you get lucky, you catch him.
He's who we really need to talk with because he used to have his own radio show and work in like television.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he could probably help us get some direction on what to do with Wyrd Realities.
Cool.
So what do you have like in the pipe coming up? New stuff for the next year or so?
I'm not going to commit to anything because every time I commit to something, something comes up. But I'd like to see more Gracie on. Gracie, like I said, she is the Scully to my Mulder. She's very rooted in science, but she still likes the woo.
Mm-hmm. But
she's got that scientific background that kind of balances out my need to believe in all the stuff.
I gotcha. That's we had Rich on our show a few times, and it's really cool to have another perspective, that's not as into the stuff, because mine is more the woo side, and then you've got Cecil's who is more the conspiracy side until it kind of falls somewhere in the middle. But then when you get, somebody like Rich in that, actually has is a scientist.
Speaking of Rich, let me give you Rich's introduction of himself. Rich Restucci, the reason all Richards are named Dick. Rich does the Watching Weird podcast with Hadley, Alan, and Scott.
Yep. And for the record, all of those are going to be in the newsletter this month too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, very cool.
Yep. I've got kind of a dossier looking thing with Post-it notes and all of them. And I think I loved them. They were absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they were gold.
I really wanted
Scott
awesome. Baker to read them in that voice of his.
You okay, Bethany?
Yeah, sorry. Y'all are on my phone, and so my battery, I didn't realize it was going to suck my battery down, so I'm getting my charger, and then but at the same time, like the sun's going down, so I had to change my lighting. I'm just, I'm just going to be a hot mess right now.
That's all right. I was just making sure you were okay. You just kind of dropped out of sight for a minute.
Sorry. Well, before I was pressing random buttons, and I didn't realize it was kicking me out of the show. I was like, oh, what's this button do? Apparently, kicks you out of the show. Gotcha.
Well, so let's do a round robin for a minute because, oftentimes, I know for me, I don't get to see Ricky and Bethany at all. Morgana and I've known each other for 20-something years. I've known Gracie for a long time. So this might be a really good opportunity for us to kind of get to know each other in a different way. So I'm going to let Ricky go first because he's got a pirate outfit on.
Little did he know when he made that choice.
For no other reason than because he's the captain.
Oh no. And what round robin are we doing here?
You just ask questions. You ask everybody a question that you want to know the answer to about them.
Gotcha. All right, Hadley, what is your favorite animal?
I don't have a favorite. But right now, I'm obsessed with the beavers at the aquarium. I've been to the aquarium like 3 times in the last 2 weeks because that's where I'm having my event. And they have 3 beavers, and they are precious. They're very active, and they come out, and like we were sitting there watching them while we were waiting for the rest of our party to arrive. And like they swam up to each other and bumped noses, and then they like did flips, and they just had the best time. And then when we were leaving, they were eating like corn and just doing beaver stuff. And it was just, one of them was carrying off a big limb. It was just hilarious. But I'm just kind of obsessed with them right now.
Well, damn. Sorry.
Stop.
I guess I might as well ask that of Morgana and Gracie as well.
Well, okay. My favorite non-human creature is a dragonfly. But as far as animals, Look, I'm a sucker for a beagle. I love them.
Mhm.
I own 3. So, and a Chiweenie, but she's on the road 90% of the time. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Well, my dog has my heart, but if it's not a dog, my current obsession is red pandas because they're so cute and they stand up and stand on their little back legs and put their hands up in the air trying to look aggressive and they just look cute. Yes, exactly. And you just want to hold the angry panda because
They look like they would put their hand on their hip if they could.
earlier this year, my husband was asking, "What do you want to do for your anniversary?" And I said, "I want to pet a red panda." And we found a zoo that does this, but it costs $400 a person
How
to
many?
cuddle with a red panda. So we
wow.
didn't do that.
Did you hear? It's been a few months ago, but there was a zoo over in China that got busted for painting chow dogs like pandas and charging people to sue them.
Oh my goodness.
They were so adorable, but I mean, they were so completely dogs.
Aw.
It went on for months before anybody reported them for having fake pandas.
It was hilarious. I mean, I'm telling you, that's what you get when you buy Temu. I was telling Bethany I've been getting a bunch of Temu stuff.
Oh yeah, I finally made myself stay away from Temu. I took the app off my phone, off my computer, everything.
Well, I've had to use it for getting decorations and the alphabet for this event.
Yep.
And I ordered these bags. Like they're on camera, they look to be about the size of, I guess, about like 18 inches. 12 by 18. I get them, and it's like 2 by 4 inches.
Yeah.
These little bitty tiny things. So I'm like, I don't like the Temu.
I've gotten lucky with some stuff. I mean, I've got like 8 raised garden beds outside that are huge and exactly what I wanted. And the same thing with you. I've expected one thing and just looked at it and went, well, you ordered it. So
yeah, but
they are a little bit above what wish.com was. When somebody actually posted a picture that they had gotten from Wish pre-COVID, it was adult toys. They were all Barbie doll size.
Barbie doll size? What?
And they thought they were getting actual adult toys. So, yeah, I have not had anything like that happen. But, yeah, I thought that was great. I'm like, well, you take a chance and you're taking a chance when you order that stuff. So, yeah. So, anyway, sorry, Ricky.
No, that's perfect. What's funny is I've discovered a new animal called the leaf sheep. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It is freaking cute, and I'm going to see if there's a way to put this up here.
What's it? Spell it for us.
Oh, leaf, L-E-A-F, and then sheep, S-E-E-P. It's a little miniature bug, basically underwater, about the size of a letter on probably 12 font.
It's got a sheep face.
Right?
Oh my God, it's precious.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to share it.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I have no way to do that.
Let's see. Plus, share screen. It takes me just a minute because, I don't do this as often as a lot of people do. Okay. Is that not? Hang on.
Yep.
Let me click on
Aww. It is a leaf sheep.
Yes.
Oh,
Really tiny.
Look at that little face.
I know. But I'm going to tell you what, there are a ton. Sea slugs are gorgeous. I mean, there are so many of them that you never expect these really cute things in the ocean, and then boof, there they are.
So they actually co-opt the chlorophyll from the algae that they eat, and are one of a few animals that can utilize the chlorophyll to also produce its own energy that's needed.
Well, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
A little bigger anyway. Good find, Ricky.
Thank you.
I love it.
So I'm going to ask y'all, because as a child and even as a young adult, I was obsessed with animals. And like, I mean, I thought I knew like all the animals. And like in the last couple of years, I've seen some stuff that I didn't know existed. Have y'all noticed that?
Such as?
There's this huge
What if this isn't just another government standoff?
I'm gonna have to find the name of it, but it's like, I think it was on Where in the Folk we were talking about it, or on Wyrd Awakenings. It's like a camel, zebra, moose thing that's in Africa. It's got stripes and it's huge. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kind of like the quagga, but that one went out. That's extinct.
And y'all, I'm gonna Google big thing with stripes, big African critter with stripes.
Do you mean a tiger? Do you mean a zebra?
Right.
A kudu. No, I don't think that's it. A bongo.
That might be it. The giant eland. It can weigh up to 2,200 pounds.
That does kind of look like the one I was just looking at. I don't know. We've talked about some weird shit, so lots of weird
It
stuff.
I had no idea it was that big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, well, that's, I never realized just how big an elk is. And Mo has a cousin that lives in Alaska, and she had shown a picture of her kitchen window, which was like 10 feet off the ground. And then a couple of days later, she took a picture of an elk looking her nose to nose through her kitchen window.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God.
Are they as big as moose or?
Yeah,
in between.
yeah, they're huge.
Did y'all hear about those hunters? I think they were in Idaho, that they saw that elk get taken off by the UFO in like a light beam.
I did not hear that.
I missed that one.
That's
No,
a lot of power.
I saw an interview. They were talking about like weird abductions, and these hunters were out like in a hideout. It was like and these are like, older gentlemen that, they didn't look crazy and didn't act crazy, but they were watching this elk herd all morning while they were working, and like all of a sudden the elk herd scattered. This flying disc came down, and there was one elk that was like too terrified to move, and they hovered above it, and it they beamed down like some kind of light, and it picked up the elk, and they flew off with it. Oh, hey, Tully. I bet
Hey.
he's heard about this.
I've been on for a minute. I just listening.
It's like the wild elk.
Yeah, I'm the elk in the window.
We don't have elephants in this room.
Yeah, I don't guess I heard anything about an elk.
You're saying can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're loud.
Oh, okay.
No,
There you
sounds
go.
fine on mine.
Cecil,
Hello, everybody.
hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm extremely exhausted. We've been traveling all week.
Yeah, I know all about that.
You've been to Buc-ee's.
Huh?
You've been to Buc-ee's.
Oh,
You go to-
we've been to Buc-ee's in like 6 different states. It's nice.
Landa, maybe try YouTube and see if it's echoing there. That's interesting.
What's echoing?
She said I was echoing too. I'm not hearing any echo from anybody.
Oh, here.
During our videos, I hear that.
Yeah, but not anytime else. Everybody else seems to sound fine.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. All right.
I am glad that you started with me because I actually need to go.
Okay.
Well, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Ricky.
But I've
Stay
got to go.
away from the Captain Morgans.
Well, we did take that picture.
Of course.
Yar, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Tully, did you survive Halloween Geddon in your neighborhood?
Yeah, it wasn't as busy this year. We probably had like 400 trick-or-treaters, but I mean, we went through like a whole big, huge tub full of candy, but it's still like sometimes some years it's like nonstop. But yeah, well, she just everybody's leaving.
Bethany we keep losing her.
She's on her phone, so she's running out of juice.
What is this view that we're in? I'm like,
Tully and Cecil, I don't know that y'all have ever met Gracie. I know when we met, you were wanting to interview all of us, and Gracie was going to come on your show. I don't know that she ever did.
I
I can't even remember.
But
we've done a lot of
Has
episodes.
sounded real weird with me. So
I thought that y'all did one of the serial killer shows with
that was
Cecily Tully.
Christy, or excuse me, Chris Vandelay.
Okay, gotcha. I knew it was somebody that wasn't me. So,
Yeah, that was Pee Wee, I think. Pee Wee.
yes.
It was. That was a fun show.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, who's next on your?
I don't know what we're doing.
What are we doing?
Around robin of interviews. So all the questions and stuff that you wanted to know about each other that you never asked. So,
I know
you know,
from inside out, literally.
she'll never get to talk to us.
So, how did y'all find New Orleans, Cecil?
We drove south. And we kind of like went across the bridge, and it was just kind of there.
You'll have that.
Left myself wide open.
Oh no, it was pretty. It's chill, you know. We didn't really hang out on Bourbon Street or anything because the wife and I don't drink anymore. But we did like just touristy stuff. Went to some houses and some graveyards and rode in some Ubers and talked to locals who told us some pretty fun stories about stuff. That was about it. Ate some good food. Gulf Shores was pretty fun. We had a good time there. Came back home and started immediately Googling. Started Googling.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, she knew I was down that way, and I never got a text. So,
oh my God, dude, that is so terrible. It's so terrible. That I don't ever want to hear anything about the ghost again because that you were less than 30 minutes away from Morgana and couldn't even stop to have a hamburger.
I do have a question. When you went from New Orleans to Gulf Shores, did you go across 90 by chance?
I don't know.
Did you see the beach when you were going across southern Mississippi?
No.
Okay. I will forgive you then because I'm literally 1 block off of 90 during the day. So, hey, I'm not but 4 miles from I-10, but still.
I was going to say, I'm right in between on the way to Gulf Shores.
We'll learn. We plan on going back probably June, so we'll swing by then.
Cool.
Oh, but yeah, it's a good time. She had fun. That's all that matters. Today's her birthday too.
Happy birthday!
Oh, happy birthday!
Yep.
Okay, I'm throwing the mic to Bethany for her to ask her next round of questions.
Oh. You know what? Since my show is about campfires and urban legends, what is everyone's favorite campfire story or urban legend that you like, or just what pops up on the top of your head?
Okay, I grew up in a town that had a bona fide witch.
Okay.
So that's going to always be my favorite. I'm from Yazoo City, Mississippi. Literally, it's the gateway between the delta of the state and the hills of the state. And back in the late 1800s, there was rumored to be a witch that lived out on the swamps. And some kids were out playing, and they kept hearing screams, and they went up to the witch's house and saw that she was killing men. So they go to town, and they get the sheriff, bring them back. She takes off running through the swamps, and she falls into quicksand. And instead of them rescuing her and trying her, they decided just to let her drown. Well, as she was drowning, she told them that she would get them back because she was going to come back and burn the town down. 20 years later, over half the town burned down.
Oh, wow.
And they put, at that point, chains on her grave. And the story says that if the last links are ever broken, that she'll come back and burn down the other half.
And Morgana won't go get me one of the links. I want one of them.
I tried so hard, but I forgot to take my big bolt cutters, and it is, the links are like 2.5 feet long, and every generation has been responsible for taking one of the links, supposedly. You know, allegedly.
I just want to like hang it up in the background, you know, like I've got room right here.
I'm going back next month in 2 weeks. I've got a family reunion, so maybe I'll get mine.
Yeah, Stephen, you jump on if you're available. I'll Morgana can email you a link.
I actually sent him a link earlier and
Morgana sent you a link, Stephen. There's no excuses.
That's right.
I gave him a shout out in our opening intro that he was our first fan.
Yep.
Gracie, that was another thing I was going to ask Gracie about, but I'll come back around. I'll let Bethany get finished with her questionnaire.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that was it. Just what's everyone's favorite campfire story or urban legend? But I want to know what Morgana with the what the men were doing to have her want to try and kill him. That's the question.
That is definitely a question.
Yeah, it was a bad deal. I actually, after Morgana told me about this, I made a TikTok about it. And they legend has it that they chased her. So a kid looked in her window and basically saw her doing some witchy stuff, told the grown men in the town. The grown men come back and like chase her back into the swamp. And basically she hit quicksand. They sat there and watched her drown in quicksand before they pulled her dead body out and buried it. But before she drowned in the quicksand, that it was slow enough to where she basically told him she's going to come back and burn everything to the ground.
Cursed him.
And you never could get that to upload, could you?
I did have problems with that video in particular. I don't think I ever redid it.
Because I know you
did a slideshow instead of the actual video.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because like I said, it's very interesting because we had and it was written about Willie Morris wrote a book back in the late 60s called Good Old Boy that he talks about this legend and everything, and his grave is in the same cemetery as hers, and you can actually see his, if you know where both of them are, it's a straight line from one to the other.
And her grave got vandalized. Somebody kicked over the headstone and broke it. The one that talked about the Yazoo witch. But the links are still there, a couple of them. But they're very they're like these oblong cast iron links. They're really cool looking.
Is that what she's called? The Azu witch?
Yazoo.
Azu. Okay, I'm gonna have to take notes now because now I got to put this on the show. I haven't done this one yet.
I think that's why I didn't message you too, because I looked up Yazoo.
Stop.
And I couldn't find it.
I haven't lived there in 25 years, Cecil.
Yeah.
No, that's the day that we headed out from New Orleans. I was so pissed off you didn't want to meet me that day.
So, Gracie, what's your favorite urban legend?
My favorite urban legend is, growing up in Arkansas, I think it would be the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs. That would be the most awesome urban legend. And in case you don't know about it, it's this grand hotel in the Ozarks up in Eureka Springs, and it was originally built as a wellness retreat, and it was run by a physician, but he was a quack, and he was promising all these cancer patients and other terminally ill patients these miracle cures if they would come up there. Of course, none of them worked, and a lot of the patients passed away in the hospital. And now that particular hospital, sanitarium is what they called it at the time, is now a hotel, and it's considered to be one of the most haunted places in America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spooky.
And it still has the morgue in the basement.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. And they do tours and stuff, so it's really fun.
Yeah, that's neat.
But it's a fun urban legend because you get to hear all kinds of stories about, oh, we see this person here at this time every day, and so it's interesting.
But aren't there several different things up in that area that are considered haunted?
Yeah, I think that's kind of, one of those hotbed of activity up there. We have those little pockets everywhere.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, this is a very haunted area.
Yeah.
Cecil, what's your favorite urban legend?
I'm probably gonna steal Tully's.
I doubt it.
Tully tells a different version of the one that I tell all the time. But both of them end up the same way. It's about the turtles in Oneida, Kentucky.
So creepy.
No, I wasn't going to tell that one.
All right, good. So there's a legend around our hometown where we grew up, which I've told on podcasts before. So so essentially, our town was known as like a murder capital of the world for a long time, and the United States at least. And what people would do in Oneida, Kentucky, they would dump them in the river. So the turtles got acclimated to eating, the flesh of the bodies that were in the river. Mm-hmm. And it turned out that after a while, there was a funeral home right on the side of the river. And every time they would have a funeral, they would kick the turtles away because they kept trying to come into the church house to devour the bodies.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the one I always heard. Totally heard a different version.
Yeah, it's a different part of the county. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah, the part of the county, it was almost the story that I tell, it was like out Greenbrier, almost like what's
Great Fork.
Yeah, it was out close to that area.
Yeah. It's the opposite side of the county.
But the house that I'm talking about, it was a wake home, like it not a proper funeral home.
Where they just kind of laid the people out so you could come by and hang out with them and stuff. Yeah,
and that's probably one of the heaviest places I've ever been, like in person. It was very, very like heavy feeling, but also people who stayed there would get pulled out of the bed. All the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gray Fork is a pretty unique place. This is a shared experience.
Now, stop telling stories about Gray Fork, because that was going to be my story.
Never mind.
No, you can tell if you're going to talk about the noise. You can talk about that one. I'm going to say something different about it.
Oh, you talking about? Okay. So there's a spot on Gray Fork. It was actually made the news in the late 90s, where people were going up there and you could hear cannons going off and you could hear horses walking beside you, like just little trollops, and you could hear gunfire. And if you were standing outside of your vehicle, you could feel bullets whizzing by your head. And if you've ever been shot at or had a bullet go by you, it's kind of it's pretty recognizable. We went up there and we experienced it. And the tale is that it was a Civil War battleground, which there are a couple around there because Kentucky was like right in the middle, so they kind of just hit head on right there. But they ended up digging a huge trench across the road to where you couldn't drive up there anymore because so many people were just lining up to drive up there. And they said it was gas wells, which I grew up right next to a gas well. I never heard anything like it. It's pretty undeniable. So there are like pretty tainted places around here, but Appalachia, you know, in the witchcraft history and like just the sinister stuff that happened in southeastern Kentucky can lead to that.
I mean, Cecil actually went to it, and it was just us in the middle of the dark, and it did sound like bullets whizzing by your head, and we did hear cannons, and did not see a gas well or smell gas.
All right.
And
So,
he was only
now,
6 feet.
is this a state forest property?
No,
No, this
No?
was
His-
Daniel Boone.
it's within probably 10 miles of Daniel Boone.
Yeah, it's on the outskirts.
Okay. All right. I'm thinking there was one that was real similar to this that was covered on the Travel Channel, but that could have been from North.
Oh, yeah,
from the
this-
Carolinas or something. So
This isn't a famous place. It's just like a
Okay.
local legend.
They shut it down fast. Like they took the bulldozers in there and dug out like a 15-foot trench. You had to walk back up in there and stuff. It's crazy.
yeah, see that's a crazy thing around here too. You know, I mean, it's all these roads. They're shut off anymore. It used to be you go all over the Washita Mountains, and you know it's easy to get to Albert Pike, but it's not. Yeah, we've got a place named after the guy here.
I thought you meant his body. I was like, that's interesting.
No, not as far as I know. Not as far as I know on that.
It's all unfolding now.
Hang on, I lost my train of thought. Somebody else, go ahead.
Great. Well, Gracie told us. You told yours. Tully, have you told yours?
Mine's just about Gray Fork. Same place, same road, same stretch of land as the bullet anomalies and Civil War cannons and stuff. So there was people always saw a walking white lady on this road as well. But one thing, so the lady could be dispelled, the gunshots could be dispelled.
Not really.
The one thing, well, I mean, you know what I mean, like excuses made for it.
Yeah.
The one thing there that I saw with my own two eyes that can't be explained away by just some random thing. My dad had a buddy that lived on that road, so he drove it constantly. And he would always talk about sometimes these lights would follow the car. And next to the road was a huge, probably like a 50-foot drop off into a creek, and then just clear fields. There wasn't any houses, no cars or anything like that. It was just woods. And there was one night I was with my dad. We were coming back from his buddy's house from a Halloween party. And he rolls down he goes, look, there it is. And I look out the window, and there is like a burnt orange glowing orb following the truck, like matching the speed parallel to the truck. I thought it was like a play on light, like against the window. So I roll the window down, and it's still there, and it follows the truck the whole way. And then as soon as you get off Gray Fork, it goes away. Like it keeps going, and you get off the road onto a different road. And that was probably the trippiest thing I've ever. Well, one of the trippiest things I've ever experienced. I was young.
I've had, since I've moved here, like, there's been a couple of times that I've seen about the size of a tennis ball, white light. I mean, like, it's like a light bulb. I mean, this is like, there's nothing behind my house. And when I say this, like, I've seen them and just didn't pay attention. Like, you know how, like, you'll see something, you just kind of like, whatever. But one night it was up in the tree, like above my head. And I'm talking like 6 feet from me. And I saw it and I thought, what the hell is that? And it didn't seem like it was malicious. It seemed natural. It was like I said, much larger than a lightning bug, and it's not the time of year for lightning bugs.
Right.
But I came in and I asked Jennifer, my roommate, and I go, have you seen lights out back? Because behind my house is 22,000 acres of nothing.
Mm.
And she said, yeah, I see them all the time.
Will o' the Wisp.
Swamp gas.
It was very
lightning.
I was very curious about it.
Ball lightning.
Yeah.
You and that ball lightning.
We did see some weird stuff when we took a night drive out toward the swamps and stuff down there. But I'm one that I've heard stuff and I've seen weird stuff, but I've never seen like apparition or anything like the Gray Fork ghost that Tully was talking about, the white lady in white. That was the first one I ever seen. But we drove across it and I was like, back up, and we backed up and you could see her go back the other way. It was just like a spot in the road. Reflected. So we decided that we would use this to make, scare people whenever we was doing runs at night and stuff, being teenagers with nothing else to do. And me and my buddy was laughing at the people in the back that got terrified by this lady in white walking across the road. And then when we topped the hill, there's a graveyard and church that sits right here on the right, and we seen a black figure run from the woods, hop in the road, run and sprint into the graveyard. And we couldn't recreate that one. But I still don't know what that was. And to be fair, at that time in my life, I was on substances that could alter mine.
Yeah, but that road was a hot spot for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a hot spot.
Yeah.
But 5 people in the car seen it. So
Right.
My
So
favorite urban legend involves a cemetery. This is a story my dad told me growing up. He grew up in very rural North Louisiana. It was so small, the smallest town there had a community, and the community is called Swampers. So Swampers, Louisiana is where this took place. And there is a lake there. And my dad grew up by the lake, and across the road from his house, there was some Indian burial mounds. And then my great grandparents' house, he was raised by his grandparents. It backed up to the cemetery, and his best friend lived like a mile as the crow flies down from that cemetery. And so that they would go back and forth, and he would say that he left. There was a couple of times that he left Marvin, his best friend's house, and was cutting through that cemetery, and he called it the graveyard monster. And he said that you could hear it, and that its toenails were so long that it sounded like snaps, like you could hear them snapping and bones popping. And he said, the hair on the back of his neck, I'm getting chills just thinking about it, would rise up. And he said he would just run all the way home, because this would be like dusky dark, and you're out in the woods. And like I said, this was my zombie apocalypse plan. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, this is where I was planning on going when I lived in central Mississippi, because there's no people up there. I mean, it is nothing but big farms and, nothing. But that used to scare me so much as a child. I just think about that old graveyard monster with his toenails popping and bones popping, creeping along behind my dad.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that right there, the popping noise. A lot of people have described similar things whenever they've seen a dog man. Almost like some of the dog men are shapeshifters.
Mhm.
Well, and when I've listened to the stories, that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah.
And Stephen, I know I told you, and we'll talk about that another time though. It's your turn to tell your urban legend. What's your favorite urban legend?
Oh my goodness, urban legend. Don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess it's Halloween, so we're telling spooky, scary stuff. The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Y'all may be familiar with that. It's about Texarkana, Arkansas, Texarkana, Texas, twin cities on the border. Anyway, it's where young couples were ending up being murdered by somebody. And I can't say yay or nay to any of this, but I'll just say that my grandfather, who lived in the area at the time, was one of the few people that all the neighbors knew who did not ever lock his doors at night. I don't know. I'm not going to say that he was him, but I don't know. There's that story. But yeah, that's the story that was told on my grandfather on my mom's side. So yeah, he might have been a little bit off, but there were some other stories about him as well. So involving illegal spirits.
Oh wow.
The good kind.
You do a whole show just on your grandfather.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's my urban legends. Honestly, I don't know. I guess the one I can't get past is the night that I saw the woman in our bedroom one night. I mean, that was the one that just I woke up and she's standing at the foot of the bed. That's still that's the only time I've ever seen anything like that. I mean, a young Native American woman standing at the foot of the bed.
Did she do anything, or did she just disappear? Or
When I woke up and I looked at her, she took off walking out of our bedroom, and I got out of bed and I'm following her because I'm like, who is this? It's inside my house. And whenever she walked into the living room, that was the last I saw her.
Ugh.
My wife gets up. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, there was a woman here in our house that just walked out of our bedroom into the living room, and she just disappeared. She didn't open the door or anything else. I mean, she just was just gone. But my daughter and her husband and her children, they live in that place now. It's a different house, but I mean, it's the exact same location. The house that she lives in now is on the foundation of the old one. And there are times whenever you may wake up in the morning time and there'll be a lamp that's on that wasn't on the night before. Sometimes you hear footsteps in the house, other things. I mean, of course, the house is, I believe, if I'm correct about it, I believe that's where at least part of the Trail of Tears went through. So, and my father-in-law, he died in that home. So sometimes she's like, well, I think Thurman was here last night.
Places absorb. I mean, I firmly believe that. Anything, especially, I feel like that there's a lot of emotion, whether it's good or bad. I think if there's a lot of love and stuff in a place, that there can be things there too, but they're a different nature.
I've been trying to think of an actual urban legend now that I really love, but I can't tell the story good enough. I heard it when I was like 9 years old at Bible camp. Scared the hell out of me. It was about Red River Gorge. That's where the Bible camp was. I'll come back next year. I'll get up with that guy, have him send it to me.
What's your favorite?
They're not leaving us on the cliffhanger for 12 months.
Yeah, just a short stone's throw away.
He had a bunch of 8 and 9 year old kids crying and scared to go to sleep at a Bible camp. So
really, oh wow, that must be a really good one.
My mom's baby sister used to babysit us when we were, I was probably about 5. So my brother under me was probably about 2. And her bedtime story one night was the book of Revelation to a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And when I woke up screaming at 2:30 in the morning, my dad's like, what's wrong with her? She's talking about devils and horses and,
burning in hell.
Right. So,
fire will rain down from the heavens.
Bethany, what's your favorite urban legend?
I'm classic. I like the Hook Man.
Yeah.
I love that one. Bloody Mary. I love all those.
The Hook Man's a fun one. And everybody's always got the the virgin girl that died on prom night in their hometown too.
Yeah.
Gracie, I'm throwing the interview over to you now.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, you kind of broke up there for a second.
It's your turn to
It's
ask
my
a question.
turn. Okay, awesome. So I would like to know what current conspiracy theory that has been on your mind or keeping you up at night?
Oh,
It's the wrong crew to ask that question to.
The digital bio ID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that troubles me greatly.
I don't what like. Are you wanting to go to outer space for this?
I don't care. Just whatever that has been on your mind lately.
I mean, really, the bio ID is a good one.
Yeah.
You know, the search process, which started as a conspiracy, but totally actually seen it in his hometown. I mean, right now, the most worrisome one is the one that's factual. We're learning every day that it's factual, that they're trying to just obliterate the economy to where it's nothing. And I don't know exactly why. There's something bigger happening. A lot of people thought that was this comet that apparently broke up. I don't even know what's going on with it right now. There's so many different things.
When's that supposed to be here? Next week? Week after?
Yesterday, I thought.
I thought it was November.
I thought it was November too.
Yeah, sometime in November. Was it 22nd or something?
I thought it was.
I'm here for it. I hope all of the aliens come down. You know.
Well, the one I read.
Any worse?
The one I read right before I came in here was that there was a pole sticking through Saturn through somebody's telescope, and they assumed that it was a nuclear explosion that happened on Saturn.
Nice.
That's pushing material toward Earth. So I mean, everything's doomsday right now. And there's always a reason whenever everything goes to doomsday, they're trying to block our view from something else. And I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Maybe they were trying to keep us from paying too much attention to the fact that after 33 years, we're now going to start testing nuclear weapons again. 33.
33 years.
Just pulled that one right out of the air.
33. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, just you don't have to have a conspiracy theory to be scared to stay up at night anymore. You just have to flip off the media.
That's Jonathan Mayberry the other night's like, okay, it's Halloween season. What's the scariest thing you're watching? And I said, the news. Oh no, that's just too much for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, I would say for me, it's probably over the last 4 years, all of the disclosure that's coming out about aliens. Shout out Soldier Boy.
Aliens.
Yeah, he says aliens, and I like that. So basically, you know, our Congress just came out like 4 years ago, and they're like, actually, there's aliens and non-human biologics living in our oceans, and nobody batted an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because of COVID and how crazy.
Because this girl did.
And they keep coming out with new footage of UFOs and exchanges that the military's having with everything. And I think that, well, just like we did a video watch, and the Museum of Tarot guy pointed out that where a lot of these things are coming from are around like secret facilities, either like Russian facilities, Chinese facilities. They've all got similar technology. And then we have like Lockheed Skunk Works, General Dynamics that make these disc-shaped UFOs pretty much. They have since World War II. Because the Nazis were working on these disc-shaped aviation units. It's not me, Landa. It's Soldier Boy. So he literally said, don't talk to me about no aliens unless the aliens are paying me on Spotify, is what he said. And that's where I'm at with it too. I don't believe for 1 second, as soon as the government came out and was like, there's non-humans in the ocean.
Well, I mean,
that means nothing. Like, that means absolutely nothing. And I think they're covering for something that's coming.
Yeah. There's thousands of non-human biologic species in the ocean, by the way.
Your cat could be flying that
around here that are non-human biologics.
And you know, everybody said Bill Cooper was crazy or whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever. But I mean, if I was going to go by a playbook of trying to warm the world up to Project Bluebeam, I would do exactly what they've been doing.
Well, there's been so much disclosure on Bluebeam too. I think they have to pivot away from that. I think
I
it's got
have
to be
no
something
idea
else.
what Blue Beam is. Educate me.
False alien attacks.
Yeah, well, it's more than that. First, they're going to have like everybody, like they're going to project some kind of like Messiah, either Jesus or Muhammad or somebody, which they admitted they could do because they planned on doing that during the Gulf War.
Yeah, they have voice of God technology. Like they can beam voices into your head. There's patents for it.
Yeah, and then it's going to go through.
These are actual, documents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This isn't just speculation. It plays into the Havana stuff that happened a few years ago, where they were melting people's brains, and somebody said that they were a prisoner for one of these agencies, and they played Enter Sandman in their head for like I forget how long. It was some stupid amount of time, like 6 months on repeat.
Well, that would be the first step, is like doing that, like having a godly like being show up in the sky. And then the second step is going to be natural disasters, just everywhere, created man-made natural disasters, which I seen people arguing about this on Facebook yesterday morning.
That's insane.
Like they can't they can't see the clouds. They literally say they see clouds. Like,
hey, what's up, Alan?
A company to come do that for you.
When it works out for them, then they did it. When it turns into a megastorm, they're like, "Oh, we didn't do that. We just happened to be in the area." Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. So how do they get rainstorms in Dubai?
Yeah, exactly. And you can go on. And if you trust the mainstream media, you can go on like New York Post or something right now, and they talk about where they see the clouds in Dubai. But then whenever there's a storm in a place where there's usually not any storms, like Dubai, where it had massive flooding, and they were cloud seeding 3 days before the massive flood, it had nothing to do with it.
Well, I think it was Project Popeye. I'll have to confirm the name so that you guys can look this up out after the fact, but it just so you know, we're not talking like crazy here. It was, I believe it was Project Popeye, where they steered a hurricane into Savannah, Georgia, had to admit to it, and they're like, "Oh, we'll never do that again." Like, we just,
They steered the hurricane with dry ice.
Yeah,
that's what they were dropping into it to steer it.
Yeah,
and Silver Eye died, I think.
Yeah.
And then the third major thing is going to be a false alien attack to bring the world together under one world government.
But I think that could be done. Like if you've ever seen Spider-Man Far From Home, like how Mysterio just has the projections and it's actually drones inside the projections doing everything. I think that's how it would be. It'd be like a hologram with actual drones shooting missiles and stuff from it.
And if you want to get people prepared for something like that, to where there just wasn't mass looting and stuff like that, you'd slowly roll out that aliens are real.
Yeah. So. But I mean, how would you feel like if you're just sitting there one day and you hear like a voice in your head that said it was Jesus? You know what I mean?
I hear that every day, brother.
Part of me thinks like that's how they take advantage of vulnerable people to do some of these events that happen. They, especially people who are already vulnerable that may be on like SSRIs and all kinds of other stuff. I think they target them intentionally.
Yeah.
But anywho,
okay, Cecil, the comet was closest to the sun yesterday.
Oh.
It's fixing to make it swerve around it, and we'll be able to see it again next week, and it'll be closest to Earth on December 19th.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Oh no, I had to look it up because I didn't know.
I don't put much credence into it being anything besides just a weird comment. And I really don't think that it's even real. Like, you guys know how I feel about space.
Oh, I lied. It wasn't Project Popeye. So it was Project Cirrus in 1947. They steered the hurricane into Savannah, Georgia. Project Popeye was the Vietnam weather modification program.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in real quick, guys. I have company about to show up, so I got to get going.
It was good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you guys again.
Yeah, I'm probably going to hop off here soon.
5 more years, girl. 5 more years.
We got this. All right. Happy anniversary, Wyrd.
See ya.
Happy anniversary.
And I'm going to need to hop off soon. My daughter has stuck her head in here about 6 times.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, we'll talk about doing
Mom?
something more often if you're up for it.
Yeah.
Keeping our weird lights burning, girl.
We got to keep them burning.
That's right. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, then. It was good to talk to everybody, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bounce this for Mandy's birthday. But I'll
Yeah.
hang out a little bit longer.
Tell her I said happy birthday. I always forget.
Put a cash app on Facebook, you know.
Who's cash apping me on my birthday is what I want to know. How much money did you get on your birthday, Cecil?
I think I had to pay for my own dinner.
Exactly. Lord. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I'm too. But congratulations on your 5 years. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Y'all missed our video shout out from Lauren Smith and Logan.
Cool.
Video shout out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did they join?
No, they sent them to me and I played them.
Oh,
Why didn't they join?
I guess they had stuff going on.
I got you.
Well, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I get
Oh,
it.
Everybody's got stuff going on. It's Halloween.
for Mandy's birthday today, though, we did go watch Black Phone 2.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was good.
Better than the first one?
I put them on the same.
Okay.
I thought they were both the same.
I should probably watch the first one, huh?
It was good.
It was
The
really
first
good.
one was good.
Yeah.
Well, that's Alan has been putting things, like putting like 3 or 4 movies, saying pick your favorite and everything.
Yeah.
And it took me 4 days and like 10 of them before I had actually seen more than one of the movies he had listed.
Black Phone 2, it takes a lot more from like the writer and directors like fandom of old horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
and Texas Chain. You can feel all those influences in this one, and it's pretty good. He did it in a pretty classy way. So
That's how I felt about that Tubi movie.
yeah, it was a good movie, but it had
It was a good movie.
it had some pretty shocking spots, and I'm just gonna do this as well. Like when I was watching, I was like, "What does he have us watching right now?"
I don't know if y'all watched that movie. What was it called? Weapons.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it
One
was
of my
okay.
friends dressed up as the redheaded lady for Halloween, and it was so disturbing.
Miss something Gladys. They're making a movie about her. The guy that wrote that movie was friends with Trevor Moore, I think, and I think that he wrote that movie whenever Trevor Moore passed away, like some kind of influence from Trevor Moore.
Trevor Moore might have been took out.
Yeah.
Very
Who's
likely.
Okay,
he-
Morgana, I'm throwing it at you. It's your turn to ask everybody a question.
A question. Damn, you put me right on the spot, and I wasn't
I did.
prepared. So, okay, what is the one mainstream thing that you think is complete and total bullshit?
What do you mean by mainstream?
That everybody under the sun believes, and you just think is absolute bullshit.
That Republicans and Democrats are actually enemies.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's the best one actually.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a very good one.
Mainstream.
I mean that everything they do is out to make your life better is another one.
Oh yeah.
Like this whole shutdown thing, everybody's like they're doing this for this, they're doing the other side's doing it for this. Like no, they're to get
They're
more.
just doing it to keep us all pissed off.
Yeah, they're inflaming people.
Or the I guess my actual conspiracy theory on this right here, they're doing this to coerce people to be more enthusiastic about this biological ID,
Yeah.
your biometric ID.
Yeah, and what is it called? I can't remember, but where everybody gets paid the same and don't have
Right.
to work.
Universal income.
Yeah.
And what was it you had not too long ago, Tully? You showed a video about the woman saying everything will be like rented in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a World Economic Forum woman. That was like, nobody needs to own anything. Like you could, why would you want to own your refrigerator?
That's that whole saying though, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy though. I mean, that's been around for years and they're just now starting to roll it out. It's ridiculous.
That's communism.
Do I?
That's communism.
You better be prepared, comrade, because it's on its way.
But
mainstream thing.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest mainstream thing that's still a construct that hasn't been deconstructed is all of the chemicals in our water.
Yeah.
Like, even though everybody knows that there's bad stuff in the water, nobody's doing anything to remove it.
Yeah.
And I think it was just this year they had a big win on fluoride, but
yes,
before they put the fluoride in the water, they had a problem because the kind of fluoride they're using is a byproduct of a manufacturing process. Same with like cottonseed oil that we saw last week for the Crisco.
Yeah.
So they have a problem where there's not a good way to get rid of it. So let's feed it to the people.
Yep, that's good because I agree with you. Oh, did you hear yesterday? The head guy in charge said there's really no proof that Tylenol makes people more autistic, but we're still going to go with that.
I want to see some studies. Like I want to see studies about the Crisco, and if anything's true, you should be gone. All the chemicals should be gone, but it doesn't matter. Like even if it was bad, the owners of Tylenol have so much money they could sue everybody into oblivion to keep it on shelves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what was they send coffee to Australia and it has too much mold, so they turn around and ship it to us because we don't care.
Yes.
Yeah. We're the most laxed, strict nation. Like it's insane because like it almost seems like our stuff has to have something that's bad for your body, and I cannot help but think that's because of the pharmaceutical industry.
Just pay attention to anytime your packaging changes on your food, usually they're changing a chemical up. And we were actually talking about this in the Halloween spirit of things. You remember the little chocolate eggs that Cadbury used to make that had like the hard outer shell and they were really soft on the inside?
They were dope.
So Cadbury got bought, and the first thing they did was like take cream out of it or like cut the chocolate content, maybe both. And now if you buy a sack of those, they don't hit the same at all. Like they almost taste like chemicals.
Yeah.
See, I don't like the Cadbury eggs. They're too sweet, but they have a truffle one that's just like soft chocolate in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those.
I don't know what happened to Mandy, but the last time that we had COVID, her taste had changed so much that like creamers and stuff we was using, we had to quit using them because she was like, it just tastes like straight chemicals to me.
Vegetable oil, yeah.
And so,
that's the thing. You got to be careful because the majority of creamers, the first ingredient on it is vegetable oil these days.
Yeah, so we had to switch up a lot of stuff, like even food, like certain food that we had, processed food that we used to eat. She's like, I can't eat this anymore. It tastes like straight chemicals. Like,
yeah.
So it's cool that she can taste that now, but you know me, I'm still going to throw some chicken nuggets in the deep fryer.
I watched a guy the other day that actually made chicken McNuggets, and I not that I've always hated them because of the texture, but now I will never put one in my mouth.
What's crazy is those actually came out looking like chicken nuggets.
Yes.
Like he be putting bleach and everything in here, and it comes out looking just like them.
Yeah, because when it goes in, it's a pink goo. They just grind up everything and then shape it and then bleach it.
He said that the pink goo was actually a cover-up for all the crap they do put in it.
Yeah, that was like so that McDonald's could be like, we can prove that's not true. And then they took the Mythbusters guy, if you remember, to make that commercial. when in the reality is there's like 17 chemicals that are harmful. We also watched they changed the formula on Reese's, and there's now a like a neurotoxin in Reese cups.
What?
They're using a chemical that's a neurotoxin in Reese cups.
Sweet.
I could pull up the video if you want to watch it. but yes, there totally is a chemical swap in Reese cups now.
Yep.
So as with anything, eat sparingly.
Well, a friend sent me an app the other day, and they had a get this today, and it doesn't cost you anything. And it's actually an app that you scan the ingredient list on the back of your whatever you're eating, and it tells you everything it does, what it is, how it's made, and everything.
Is that the yucca, or am I thinking about that right?
If you want the real scary stuff, this is it right here.
Yeah. Ooh, all your food's poison.
Like Reese's Cups, prepare to die.
Yeah.
Ryla, R-Y-L-A.
Okay.
Oh no, man.
And I used it 3 times, and I'm never going to use it again because I'll never be able to eat again.
There's another one. I think it's called the Yucca app that does a similar thing.
Yeah.
We need to just move to like Finland or somewhere like that.
Yeah. Well, I saw. So as you know, we watch 90 Day Fiance as a guilty pleasure, and there's a guy from 90 Day he's an American, and he went to the other country instead of them coming here.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him the other day, and after just like 2 months, he is much more slim. He looks healthier, like he's got better color. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's
There
something.
is no money in the cure.
Yeah. The Americas I feel like United States of America and Mexico and Canada and even South America, like Brazil and places, were some kind of experiment. And there's wanting to see how different social structures ran different lives if you introduce different things. And I feel like the experiment's just coming to an end.
They didn't know they were part of the experiment, but I can tell you that our forefathers on the beaches of Normandy didn't fight for this.
No.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure didn't. Oh no, man.
Anywho, sorry, Hadley.
Yeah, sorry. That's what we do, Hadley. You know.
That's what we do.
That was Gracie that asked the question. She chopped off.
Actually, that was my question.
Oh, that was your question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Morgana.
Next. No, that's the question I asked,
All right.
Oh, totally off subject real quick. Have y'all heard of the lost tribe of Clover Hollow?
What?
Yeah.
It popped up the other day on something I was reading, and evidently there are petroglyphs and stuff in Virginia in a place called Clover Hollow that predate the pyramids and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen some.
I
seen something about it, with the hieroglyphs and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, Morgana, but like, aren't they dated back to like the earliest known writings?
Yep. Yep. They said that it could be the oldest place in the world.
When's that going to be in textbooks?
Yeah. Let me look something up on that because
nobody imagined if they were like the oldest place in the world's in Ohio.
It's Virginia.
Virginia, yeah. I just like, Jesus Christ. Like, they're never going to publish that.
Well, if you go by what Mr. Dale believes, I mean, it's possible that the Pangea didn't break up millions of years ago. It's possible it broke up, 15,000 years ago, 20,000 years relative. And if that's the case, then I mean, it very well could be Virginia because like the whole Appalachians is just, the same mountain as the Scottish Highlands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, no, they really could have been like some form of cradle of civilization right there. It's quite possible.
So they're saying this right here those would have existed before the Younger Dress.
I can't remember.
Those who may be thinking that could be accurate.
It could be, yeah. It really could be.
Yeah. I know Micah Hanks has covered this some on his shows before. You know, it's where and different stuff that I've listened to. You know, where they talked about how there were people here who left clues that they were actually here, and then for some reason they all disappeared. You know, and
Yes.
it could have been you know what Randall Carlson talks about. There was a massive flood that took place.
Yes.
And you know, it took people a long time to basically build back to where we are today.
Find everything, dig it out.
Right.
Oh, shit, I've been here before.
Found.
Yeah.
Founded.
Yeah. Found it.
Yeah. You know, were they actually building stuff or were they simply painting stuff?
God, what was I watching? I was watching the show Loki about the Marvel character.
Yes.
And in the second season, they go back to the World's Fair in Chicago, and it's, you know, basically it's real buildings in the show, not paper mache.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, it was all paper mache.
It's ridiculous.
Yes,
that's the best thing they can come up with to why there's not like a small Rome in Chicago. You know what I mean? It was paper mache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't make it in 3 months out of steel and stone.
They couldn't have made it in 3 months out of paper mache.
I know. No.
Yeah, that's funny whenever they talk about building a Yankee Stadium, you know, the amount of time that took.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium is definitely part of the old world architecture. And there's a building in Cincinnati. I was at work one day when I was working at the tower, and I look up in the window, and it was just me and my buddy Joe there, and I'm like, Joe, do you know about this building? Because the art, it was very ornate, like it looked old world. And he goes, yeah, that's the oldest concrete structure in America, or a concrete skyscraper. And it looked very, old world, like Tartarian, whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's, like a lot of these old world chapels that were built, back in the 1400s. How? I want to know how. Because like I said, these things with that technology should have taken 100 years to build, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this lost tribe that you're talking about, so the earliest known language, like written language, was Egyptian, apparently Sumerian, like 3100 BC, right? But I actually did watch something earlier today where they said the earliest form of written language was I can't remember the country, but it was basically them taking harvests of barley. It looked like an Excel sheet, like and it had somebody's name carved in the upper left-hand corner. It might have been like 8,000 years ago, 9,000. They're speculating, which this is a wide variety, like a wide range on how old this civilization in Virginia was. That had this written language, but they're just speculating it's between 5 to 50,000 years.
That's a pretty big range.
Yeah.
Can't you carbon date something? You know what I mean? Like,
well, based on the sediment and stuff that's around there, and make carbon dating hard. But I mean, even if it is the short term, 5,000 years ago, that's when the earliest writings of the Sumerians started up too.
Yeah.
Well,
but there weren't any people here when Columbus found America.
Listen, I've been learning some more stuff about that whole deal. I think I've saved a video or two, but I don't know if anything about that whole story is true anymore. I think it's just another rage bait thing at this point.
Doesn't anybody think it's weird that India wasn't even a country whenever he came here?
It wasn't a country, and he had a Hebrew translator that was used. That's like in textbooks that so none of it makes any sense. And I've saved a couple videos that I've seen about it, but
the Hebrew translator. Was that so somebody could understand him, or
He was supposed to translate wherever they were going, I guess.
Yeah, because they thought they were going to India, which wasn't
Where
a
all the
country,
Hebrews were.
Yeah, where all the Hebrews were.
but India was a trading company. It wasn't a country yet, but for some
Right.
reason, he was going to the country of India.
Yeah. See, the other interesting thing is whenever Columbus sailed, that was in 1492. That's whenever Spain kicked out all of the Jews. The Jews either had to leave Spain or they had to convert to Catholicism.
That's
in 1492.
a strong coincidence.
Yeah.
That's a very strong coincidence that it's the same time.
Well, this
Yeah.
is something for Stephen. When I was reading about Columbus, one of the islands they went by was full of natives
Mhm.
that threw rocks at them,
Hell yeah.
and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
About
That's
you
how I'm
know,
going to. That's
who
how
else
I'm going to
threw
do these.
rocks.
That's how I'm
Yeah.
going to do Voyagers from outer space. I'm going to chuck rocks at these.
Yeah, they could go back and tell their alien friends.
Yeah. It's, I tell you what, I mean, the rock throwing, some of the, let's see, around here, I refer to them as neighbors. They will throw rocks.
But I mean, it's a
Good luck trying
tribal
to see
thing.
one.
I'm just interested where that started and what it means.
It's the earliest weapon.
Yeah.
If
But
you
they don't. I mean, if somebody with a good aim threw a rock at you, it's going to hit you.
Yes.
But they don't. They're not trying to hit you.
No.
Well, people think that's a joke. Have you ever seen, like, people think the David and Goliath thing is a joke? Have you ever seen somebody who's really good with a slingshot throw a rock like that?
Oh, good night.
Oh yeah.
It hits like a bullet.
No, I do not want to get hit with that.
Mm-mm.
But
I
have
saw
I
someone make a
Yeah.
bamboo gun and bullet the other day, which was literally they just took a strip, hollowed out the middle of one, and pulled it back over, and it snapped. And then they carved out a bullet from a piece of wood, and it busted a glass.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched that guy. He does the Meat Eater podcast, and he was talking about going. I don't know if it was when he was in South America or in Africa, but he was talking about the natives that he was with were using like homemade guns. It made me think of a potato gun, but that's what they were using to kill animals.
I know in South America the dart gun or they'll get the long piece of bamboo hollowed out and put feathers on a dart, to hit the monkeys with that'll knock them out or whatever. And
Guess they
when
need
they
to
fall
try-
out of the tree, they become a meal.
Yes.
Oh, I need to interject myself into this situation for a second. The question I want to ask the group is the best thing that you've eaten in the last year.
I cooked some beef ribs last year.
I was going to say, I made a Mississippi
the real
pot
thick one?
roast the other night that was fantastic.
What was it?
It was a Mississippi pot roast.
Oh yeah.
You take a beef pot roast, put it in the crock pot. You take 1 package of ranch dressing, 1 package of au jus, and a half a jar of pepperoncini peppers with the juice. Turn it on for 8 hours, and it falls apart. You can put it over noodles or
And you think
potatoes.
that's the best thing?
That's
Mor-
one of the
Okay.
best.
Okay.
Morgana, I want you to add one more ingredient next time you do that.
Okay.
Add a whole stick of Kerrygold butter to it.
Oh wait, I did add a stick of butter. Not Kerrygold, but I did add butter. So
Add a whole stick of Kerrygold butter to it, and that will be delicious.
I need to send me that recipe. I've been wanting pot roast.
You're going to think I'm crazy.
I had some blackened redfish with some kind of yummy sauce and covered in shrimp.
Where was that at?
Somewhere down here.
Yeah.
And
That's-
it was delish.
Yeah, the food down there is nuts. You're gonna think I'm crazy for what I'm gonna say. We went to a restaurant called Mother's in New Orleans for breakfast, and I got a omelet and some cheesy grits. An omelet had ham, like fucking all kinds of stuff in it, and some shrimp. And that and them cheesy grits is probably the best thing I've had all year.
cheese grits and
Really?
shrimp's delicious.
Yeah, it was insane how good it was. Like I don't eat grits, but I got them just because I was like, I'm not eating what I usually eat. And
Right.
it's delicious.
We used to have a little cafe over here in Ocean Springs, and the person that they rented their building from sold it, and the person that bought it, they couldn't come to an agreement about. But they were only open on Saturday and Sunday mornings for breakfast and brunch. And they had a seafood omelet and cheese grits, like you were saying. And oh my God.
And Whataburger. We ate Whataburger 3 times.
There is a place.
Awesome.
There's a place in Bay St. Louis that has got the best brunch. And I love redfish. That's my favorite fish to eat. It's just delicious. And I got some there, and the fish fillet was so big it like went over both sides of my plate.
So far in my life, that whole area you all live in down there is where the food is.
Well, I've always said that in the burger wars, Whataburger wins.
Oh yeah.
The only downfall is that it's regional, and where we live, in my opinion, Five Guys is probably the best.
See, I like Five Guys better than Whataburger.
No.
What do you think wins around this area, Cecil? Isn't a mom and pop?
Oh,
I mean, obviously, I think some mom and pops are better than Five Guys, but as far as chains go,
I like Freddy's better than Five Guys.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
I do.
Freddy's is good, but it's not that good.
I like Freddy's better. I don't know, man. Mandy's gonna get with the city commerce around here and try to get Whataburger.
That would bring in a lot of people.
Yeah, it would. But yeah, I mean,
Landa, you got to cut loose. You got to say, you know what? It's Halloween. I'm getting a burger as big as my head, and I'm gonna feel bad for 8 hours.
But the food down there opened me up to different foods because I've been once before in my life, and when I went, like I ate McDonald's, like
Alan, do not raise your sword against me, brother. You know what? It is a little bit greasy. I'll give you that. I do like. I think it's expensive. It's greasy, but if you're just looking for a sloppy burger at 1 a.m. or something.
Well, my thing about burgers too, like the best burger I ever had. The best burger I ever had was from Pat's Pool Hall before it turned into what it is now, and it was so damn greasy. When they put it in a bag, you could see through it, and it was
Well,
that's when you knew it was going to be good.
Yeah.
You don't know this about me, Alan, but I am a Waffle House connoisseur. I'll go to war for them ladies and gentlemen.
Back in my drinking days, I made it rain on a waitress there. Like,
listen,
she's like, yeah.
The Waffle House close to us is like full of ex-cons, and it's ran like Paris Island. Like you walk in, and the manager goes, "Pull to bacon," and like just scream. Everybody's screaming and having a good time, and there's good food. It's a whole experience. I like the ambiance of the Waffle House.
Well,
okay, I'll tell you. I'll go one better though. Okay, Mo and I went to New Orleans last month. I think it was first time we've been since COVID, because for whatever reason, we've always gone Christmas Eve as our time to go to New Orleans because everybody's home because it's Christmas Eve, but all the shops are still open. So they have a place called Cafe Maspero's. How this place hasn't been closed down because it is just a hole in the wall, but they have a shrimp po' boy that has so much shrimp falling off of it, you can't close it. So you end up taking half of it off just so you can close it and eat it. And they have got really good shrimp. So that's what I had last time we went last month.
Okay.
Good. Po' boys are good.
I'm glad I asked you guys that question because I have no idea. I just like to talk about food sometimes.
You can't go wrong with a
Yeah.
McChicken now, man.
You
With
can't
the
go
what?
wrong with what?
With what?
A McChicken.
Oh, God.
Well, now they're $10, so you can't go wrong with a McChicken.
Right. Yeah.
Can't-
I'm gonna hop off here, y'all. I'm gonna go in here and spend time with her since it's a
Give
birthday.
Mandy a big
Yep,
birthday.
happy
hug.
birthday.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday,
Yeah.
Mandy.
Happy-
Tell her I'll send her a Cash App request for $50 and put for Cecil's bullshit on the tag.
Y'all have a good night and happy 5th.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to
Yeah.
you
Good
later.
night. No, Tilly, it's the
I got a skeleton.
since 2020, we have eaten out. It seems like every year goes by, we eat out less.
Same.
You know, we
Yeah.
we do more of our own cooking. So that's why I want to say the beef ribs. Once I
Hey,
got
I'm
30,
not hating on the beef ribs. That sounds amazing.
But
those,
he hated on my Mississippi pot roast.
No, I was just shocked. Okay, here's why I was shocked. I was shocked that you would say the best thing you've ate in the last year was you started the sentence out with crock pot.
Uh-huh.
And that's I'm like, okay, like you're just not thinking hard enough, I think.
You had to experience it. Seriously, it was really that good.
Okay. Send the recipe. I'll get the Kerrygold butter and we'll give it a run in our
Yep.
house.
you got to use the au jus sauce or the au jus packet
Yeah.
and the ranch packet. And
Y'all gotta send me the recipe because I don't remember.
I will.
Yeah.
But, because, and I'll tell you the reason I say that it really was that good. Mo was home and he sat down and took a bite and just looked at me and went, "Oh my God."
You know,
Like,
it sounds
is that
like
a
it'd be good
oh my
on.
God or a bad oh my God.
It sounds like it'd be good on mashed potatoes.
That's what I
Oh,
made was mashed
okay.
potatoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen people put it on noodles and other stuff too.
Okay.
But, yeah.
and
Mashed
also making an open face roast beef sandwich is
Yeah.
really good out of that.
Yeah, that would have been good too.
Yes.
Or making an Irish stew.
Yeah, I mean, you could put because I've seen people put potatoes and carrots in it. I just didn't want, roast carrots and potatoes. I wanted mashed
Listen,
potatoes.
if you would have said Irish stew, I would have gave you the same look I gave Morgana. I'm like that
No,
can't be the best thing you've ate all year.
I'll tell you, I'm not a big seafood eater because I grew up going and fishing, and we would deep sea fishing, so we always had fresh. And when you're in central Mississippi, it's not fresh. So now that I'm down here on the coast, that's what I've been eating a lot of.
Okay.
Is I've been eating a lot of the redfish and it's shrimp and so good.
There is a restaurant down here called the Half Shell Oyster House, and they've got probably about a dozen locations now across southern Mississippi and over in Florida and everything. And they've got just good food, period. But they have this appetizer. It's crab cakes and fried green tomatoes. And it's like 3 or 4 slices of fried green tomatoes and 3 or 4 crab cakes. And then it's got a shrimp sauce that goes over it. And then they have a remoulade and this other, and I forget what the other one's called, but it's more of a cool dip. You can make a meal off of it. You don't need to order anything else. You can, but you're going to be miserable when you get done with just this, unless you get it for the table.
Yeah.
And yes, it's fantastic.
That sounds good. Minus the fried tomatoes.
Yeah.
In
tomatoes?
my other job,
I can't eat them.
Oh, okay.
So to give y'all a little update, in my other job, what I've been planning, and Tully will be interested to hear this, next Thursday, we're having 22 of the best food vendors, fresh oyster farmers, and some beverage folks coming together for a big party.
That sounds great.
Well, that's what sold me on it. So,
well, I was going to say Half Shell's one of the folks in Rack House. They own
cool.
both.
I bet I could probably eat 75 oysters in one sitting.
Well,
I
I have learned more about oysters this year, and I am fascinated by them.
Cooked. I gotta
Well,
put
they
that.
will have some char grilled oysters, fresh farmed. But
I don't want to get the brain eating disease or whatever it
Well,
is.
there is actually a young lady down here that's like 17, 18 years old that came up with a way to clean that stuff that the oyster gets. And
Really?
they said, yeah, and I forget what it's called.
Stop,
but yeah,
Landa,
she actually
stop.
got out there and they actually cleaned them. It took the chemicals and stuff out. I mean,
Lan-
now, of
Really?
course, they'll probably offer or something because,
well, I was concerned about that, and I asked one of my friends that I've met down here is actually the oyster hatchery manager for the university, and she's like, don't worry, that's
Well,
not the same thing.
I'll say in Clearwater, a big staple is grilled oysters with Parmesan, like broiled on top of them.
we call that oyster skinville down here.
And those are out of this world. So that's what I'm saying. I could eat 75 of them.
Yeah, those up there, my favorite oysters. I've eaten them raw. We all did it one time as us and some friends. Is basically we just all dared each other because none of us had raw oysters. So unfortunately, with the first one, I took the waiter's advice. He said, "Yeah, eat it with a cracker." No. You eat them raw, so you can get them down quicker.
They say do not bite.
Let it slide down your throat.
All right, but
You have,
baked oysters.
you have to have the sauce on it, and the lemon, and some tequila.
As I say, just give me the tequila and the damn lemon.
The tequila might kill the bacteria.
Right. Yeah, but tell me, I agree with you. The baked oysters are absolutely the best with Parmesan on top. And if you get Tabasco green sauce and put on top of it, that
sounds like the bomb.
That's the winning ticket.
I don't even like them fried.
My friend went to like a health fair because I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, they had her come talk about the food shortage that we're facing because we don't have enough meat to sustain the people who are alive and where the growth rate is going. So they're trying to find sustainable ways to outsource meat from the ocean. And that's like one of the big things with oysters now. And that's why you have so many people who are becoming oyster farmers. It was really fascinating. So, like I said, this whole oyster thing has just been really interesting. And
did you
really
hear
happy
recently that they're actually doing 3D fake meat?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm not.
You know,
I got oysters got a better chance with me than, and I'm not a fan of oysters. I have eaten them, but
Landa, I would never tell you to leave. You can just sit there with us. You can drink the tequila, and we'll hammer the oysters with the Parmesan and hot sauce.
I will hit the tequila up with you, Landa, because I'm not doing the oysters.
The char grilled oysters are really good.
I have eaten one oyster in my life that I said, that wasn't too bad. And a friend of Mo's, his wife was a bartender at this place that did sandwiches and seafood and stuff. And we had been to a Christmas party and we went there afterwards. And he asked Mo, do you like oysters? And Mo's like, yeah, I like oysters. He goes, as long as they're not raw. He goes, oh, no, they're not raw. And these were char grilled and seasoned. And then they had pepper jack melted across the top of it.
That sounds good too.
Piece of shrimp on top of it.
Oh.
That was good. But like I said, it's not something I'm going to make a meal off of.
I'm not.
I don't even know what that is, Dan.
When I went to the event in New Orleans last year, they brought in fresh oysters from all over the country and all over the world, and they have these different, like some raw oysters taste buttery, and it's like I'll never know, but they have different flavors, which I'd never thought about.
Nasty. Ooh,
No. I'm sorry, Hadley. Continue.
What is that?
Balut.
It's like a you know when you leave the eggs under a chicken too long and the embryos start to form like a bird?
Oh, you're talking about the blue eggs?
On the board.
People are eating that as a street food.
Boil them and eat them whole. I'm not having any. No. Ugh.
God, I could go a whole lifetime without even knowing that people are eating that, Dan.
Right.
I'm not going to eat a raccoon. I'm not going to eat a monkey. I'm not going to eat a squirrel. Those are things.
Oh, now I'll eat a squirrel. I grew up.
Squirrel's not bad.
But
No,
now,
it's a childhood trauma thing for me.
well, I know a guy who part of his military activity was to be in South America in the jungles, and those little bitty monkeys that are down there.
The howlers. I love the
Yeah, he said you just take your stick, pop them in the head, and so they're good.
There's a dude that so back when Voss was a documentary company and not a news company, there was a dude that walked I think he walked from the bottom to the top of South America. It was either bottom to top or left or right, and he came upon a tribe while he was walking, and he ate monkey because he was starving, and they were already cooking it, and they're the only ones allowed to kill him because they're indigenous.
Delicacy. I watched that guy in that Meat Eater podcast talk about going, and he's like, it's a delicacy for them, and he ate it because it would have been weird not to, because that was their thing, and he said that it wasn't. He didn't feel real good about it.
Never ate that, Landa. I've never had monkey, Dan, but I've had squirrel, I've had turtle, rabbit, rattlesnake.
I'm raising rabbits for meat, so.
I've had the pig's feet, Alan, the pickled pig's feet. If you like that kind of stuff, my papaw used to get. Have you seen the pickled bologna that's in the spiral? You know what I'm talking about? It might be a regional thing.
Yeah.
It's like a big sausage of bologna, and you just cut a piece off and eat it with crackers.
Mm-hmm. And it's usually those red hot sausages.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad used to eat it.
And then spend 4 hours on the toilet afterwards.
Yeah, so it'd be like a bigger version of a Tijuana Whopper or whatever thing.
Yeah.
I've eaten deer, and I've had friends that they get their deer made into like ground hamburger, and that's really good. And I've had like deer roast that was really good. I've had bison. I've had alligator, which alligator is good if you get it when it's fresh cooked.
Yes.
It is not good after it's cooled off.
They have a fish down here called mullet. It's really a trash fish, but if you eat it fresh cooked, it's fantastic. But if it sits for an hour, it's horrible.
Yeah.
So we always fish with mullet, not eating them, but use them to catch other fish.
Well, if any of y'all, if somebody gives you a deer or whatever, part of a deer, whatever, you want to make breakfast sausage.
Oh yeah.
What I discovered, and me and my uncle of mine just figured out with breakfast sausage when we're using venison, so that if you take 2 pounds of venison ground up, and you get 2 pounds of good pork fat.
Yep.
And you mix it 50-50. And you add a little more seasoning than what it's called for from the big package you get to make your sausage. You can make breakfast sausage that'll be just as good as anything you can buy from the store.
Stephen, that's what my daddy used to do, and it's the best.
Yes, you've got to have that fat though, otherwise it's dry.
Deer's just super lean anyway.
Yeah. But you got to mix it 50-50 if you want to make good sausage.
Gator's good, Dan. It's kind of like a mix between a chicken and a snake.
Fishy chicken.
And it's fortunately for me, it's more like chicken than snake.
You know what I'm saying, though. If you've ever ate snake,
I tried rattlesnake once. Unless I'm absolutely starving to death, I don't ever plan on trying it a second time.
You need it prepared well, though. Like
that's how I feel about head cheese and blood pudding. If I had not seen it being made in the kitchen sink, I might be more apt to try it.
Mhm.
But until the zombie apocalypse, y'all can have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all you can have my part.
My ankles are so bad. I'm just gonna have to be eaten by a zombie.
You know, we walked out of Meyer this morning, and I'm like, my knees are feeling good, my feet are feeling good. This is a good day for the apocalypse, and people are just like turning around. And Rachel's like, somebody's gonna call the police on you if you keep talking like that.
I know what you feel like though. There's some days my knees hurt so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, and that's the thing. It's really, I get the thing with tall people, because like I said, you know, I've got a brother that's fixing to have both of his knees replaced. He's 6'6.5", and he's gotten to the age where, I mean, he's bow-legged now.
People don't believe me. It's a curse.
Yeah.
It isn't a blessing to be tall.
Yep. And then my other brother, just this last week, he and I were talking. He's like, my knees have given me so much hell recently. You know, I'm not sleeping, you know, and everything. And he's 6'5.5". But now the 6'6.5" is only 6'4" now. And it's because his legs do that
Yep.
number.
You know, my dad's shorter now than what he used to be. He used to be closer to 6'6",
Uh-huh.
and now it's like we almost look dead in the eye.
Yeah.
And I'm 6'4".
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you know, he didn't like me saying this. This has been maybe like 8 months ago. We were talking about this, and he's like, you know, my feet, blah blah blah, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you know, tall people don't live a long time. And he's like, well, don't tell me that, because he's like 70. and I'm like, yeah, there's a direct, like, if you look at charts,
Uh-huh.
the taller you are, the less you live, because all these cells have to work so much harder.
Mhm.
All the
Well,
oldest
kinda
people in
like-
the world are short.
A Great Dane has a life expectancy of 6 to 8 years.
Yes,
You
it's
know,
exactly like
now,
that.
if you take care of yourself, you'll live longer, Tully, because my Great Dane was 13.5 before we had to put her down.
Okay,
So-
okay.
Take
Well,
care of you.
Well, I do take care of myself.
You do.
I'm in relatively good shape.
You're my person. When I'm ready to take something new, I generally send it to you and say, hey, what do you know about this?
Yes. Yeah.
I've done my research. Now I want to know what the expert thinks.
But you know, if you're getting older like us and you're out there listening and you got to pick one supplement to spend money on, take turmeric. Take it every day. No questions asked. Turmeric. It is.
I thought you were going to say black seed oil, to be honest.
I mean, you could, yeah. I would recommend black seed oil in the winter, like for immune boosting and all that good stuff, inflammation.
Yep.
But really, the turmeric has unparalleled benefits to your joints and stuff. Even if you have stuff like gout, you know, any kind of arthritis, it makes a huge difference.
Cherry juice helps with gout. I had a gout flare up for my event.
Tart cherry.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be tart cherry specifically.
Yep.
For gout, if that's what you
It
mean.
was black cherry. It worked. That's all I'm going to say. The next day it was gone. Once I drank the cherry juice.
I just got through. I just started taking these ashwagandha chews. It's ashwagandha with super greens.
That's where Black Panther's from.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I don't like to eat sweet stuff first thing in the morning. So yesterday I got this bright idea. I'm just going to throw them in my pocket. And when I get to work and settle down, then I'll eat them. And I interviewed somebody at like 11:30. And I went to grab something out of my pocket. And I went into the wrong pocket. And I had melted chews in my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. I do because I get gout really bad. That's why I can't eat tomatoes. It's one of my triggers.
Is it?
It is bad. Yeah. There's certain things that
Are.
everybody's are different, and you got to unfortunately painfully figure out what yours are. But between the tart cherry and turmeric and some other things, I haven't had a flare up in a long time. You could.
Landa, cherry juice, vodka, and Sprite.
I mean, alcohol. So
It's going to help with your gout, but
It may not
it
help
does
with your
sound
gout.
good.
if you have gout, the cause of uric acid is purines, and you got to figure out what is high in purines. Alcohol is, but the tart cherry is a combatant of purines, so it may cancel out. You may be
That's
doing
true.
yourself
Well, I had eaten a lot of shrimp before I had my flare
That's
up.
a huge trigger.
Shrimp.
Any kind of shellfish is extraordinarily high in purines.
Well, and that again is one of those things I didn't eat before I moved down here. I mean, I have eaten it over the years, but it's like not something I would get on the menu somewhere. And now it's fresh and I like them. So
you gotta, I had to cut out stuff I didn't like. Like I can't eat pizza anymore. Like with red sauce, any kind of pasta with red sauce. I stay away from shrimp now.
Pizza's better with white sauce anyway. Trust
I
me.
agree. I agree.
I'm not a big red sauce person.
But there's a lot of fish that are super high in purines. So if you find yourself having more gout attacks, I know it sucks, but you got to cut out shellfish and high fat fish like salmon, full of it.
Yeah.
It's terrible for people with gout.
I'm not a big fish eater, but I do like the red fish and like speckled trout.
I was gonna say I love a good tuna steak every once in a while. That inch thick,
But I think
medium rare.
I don't normally eat a lot of shrimp, and I had it for I had shrimp tacos for lunch, and then I had like shrimp on a salad for dinner, and I think it was the shrimp.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll say I've never felt the pain in my life as worse as gout.
Yeah.
Wow. The ruby reds that you have down there in the Gulf, those are absolutely the best shrimp.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I mean, it is almost like a baby lobster.
Yeah.
So sweet.
So
only better.
Yeah. Because the first time I ever had lobster, whoever cooked it, I don't think knew how to cook it because it was like chewing on a piece of rubber. So I didn't try it again for probably 10 years. And then I actually tried some and it was cooked right. And I'm like, okay, that's way better than I expected.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love a good shrimp cocktail from time to time.
That's terrible. Do not eat that if you have gout. Please, God. Because the cocktail sauce is bad for gout too.
But you know what's really bad is, okay.
And now I'm thinking that might have been what happened.
Jesus, please do not do that.
With no problem. But
oh,
if I
man.
eat boiled crawfish, and I can eat a handful, but if I get like we have a crawfish boil, I will have a migraine for 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
Dan, we are conspiracy theorists. I think a lot of this stuff just comes out of research. And you look at things that have worked for thousands of years for people that existed before, the multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical industry, and things that they try to demonize. Like sometimes you'll see big campaigns on certain things and you pull back the layers and it turns out that something was working to cure something.
Well, that's here in the last couple of months, they have had all these major breakthroughs overseas on Alzheimer's and on heart disease and on vision and all these things. And nobody over here is.
China cured Alzheimer's.
Yes, China cured Alzheimer's.
Well,
you'll never see it. You'll never see it. They've cured a lot of things lately. But Landa, I wasn't saying that salmon's bad. It's just bad for people with gout. Salmon's good for you.
Hey, I have a 13-year-old granddaughter that will eat salmon before she'll eat candy. And Mo was grilling one day and she's like, Papa, would you grill me some salmon? He goes, well, yeah, I've never grilled it before, but I will give it a try. And she goes, I'll help you. So she goes out there. She's got it seasoned and everything. He puts it on the grill. It's probably there 30 seconds. Okay, flip it. He's like, okay. He flips it about 30 more seconds. Okay, that's perfect. She wants it seared on the outside. That is it. Otherwise, she wants it raw.
I mean, it's like ceviche. It's not.
See, that's how I eat. That's how I eat my tuna. If I order a tuna steak, I want it seared on the outside, and otherwise, I want it cooked just like my steak.
Yeah.
Give me a good and bright red, but not bloody.
No, you might have worms.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
It's all good.
As long as I
You
don't
can-
see them when I cut in, because I do look, you know, because certain times of year, redfish and red snapper is very wormy. And, you know, because Mo's been on deep sea fishing things, and I'm like, let me look at that before you put in freezer.
Yeah, it looks like it reminds you of that scene from the movie The Faculty back in the 90s where they had the things just like
Yeah.
it looks like that when you cut them like go to fillet them.
Oh,
I
look.
went to see that movie on my honeymoon.
Stop.
I did.
Stop.
Which one?
We went to we were in somewhere in Arkansas, and there was nothing to do. We went to the movie. I can't. Where was that? It wasn't Eureka. It was some springs though.
Hot Springs?
No.
I was gonna say, there's a lot to do in Hot Springs.
I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, I
Siloam
eloped
Springs.
and got married in Arkansas.
Yeah, Siloam Springs.
No, I can't think of what it's called. I know that the water's real clear and you can see the fish in it. We went to a fishery while we were up there.
Well, somebody was telling me the other day about the most expensive cheese in the world. It's
Yeah.
also illegal.
Well, for what reason?
Because what they do is they set it up and they let it get covered in maggots, and they like, you know, chew it up, and then you eat it while they're still alive.
Yeah, you can put that with the balut that.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what I'm just looking at her like.
Balut, actually, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but what was it?
Heber Springs, Heber.
Heber Springs. Okay.
Linda, I saw the fly one time, and for 6 years, I would not eat anything that a fly landed on. I would stop.
I'm still traumatized by that movie and Jeff Goldblum in it.
Yes. But like I said, if I see one close, I'll just do the shooey thing. But if it sits on there for any length of time, I'm like, I'm not eating that.
I don't want to see them. I want them dead.
Yep.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to bounce.
Yeah.
But
it was fun. I'm glad we all got to hang out, and
yeah,
I hope that we get another 5 years together.
It's been it doesn't seem like 5 years. I'll say that. It's flew by.
It has.
I remember talking to you and trying to keep me and Gracie's identities locked down. Because, you know, she's...
I mean, it wasn't us. It wasn't an us thing.
It was just, I was like, I would tell you, like, I messed up and said my name. It was Heather, which, you know, it is. But it was Hadley, and trying to keep all that straight was hard.
No, the funniest one was
the only one that...
Jennifer. Jen could not say Hadley. It's not in her to say Hadley.
Yeah. Morgana's the only one that has maintained true anonymity. Like, everybody knows her as Morgana. I refer to her as Morgana, even though I know her real name as you. Well, I call you Hadley too, but what I'm saying is, like, across the board, everybody knows her as Morgana. And it may be a shock to some people to figure out that that's not her real name, honestly, right now.
And here's the funny thing. There is a whole group of people that know me as Destiny. Because
what?
Because when the internet first really got popular and people were chatting on Yahoo and different things, you just didn't put your real identity out there.
Look, it's not her real name. She's in the whole 5 years, she has maintained her alias better than anybody.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, like I said, you know, when the internet was first a thing, you didn't put your real name on there. So I met Hadley on Yahoo on a group, you know, and we just all started talking. We talked for 6-8 months, and then we actually got together and met. And by that time, everybody was calling me Destiny because that was the name I used as, you know, on chats and stuff. So, like I said, when they would introduce me, it would just always be as Destiny.
I have a whole nother name too, Tully.
I do too. That you guys don't even know about.
What is
See,
it?
that's why I asked you one day, what does your wife call you?
Oh, she calls me husband
Yeah.
usually.
Right.
She calls me mine.
But no,
Oh, Alan, I have definitely been thinking about your mom too.
Yeah, Alan, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's rough.
Mhm. But
I'll be
yeah,
thinking about you, Alan.
yeah. But yeah, it's funny how, and like I said, the only reason when we started podcasting that I started using Morgana was because Hadley had an ex that knows me. And the reason she started using Hadley when she podcasted is so he wouldn't know it was her. You know, because he's one of those people you just really don't, you know.
Yeah, I don't want him knowing anything about me.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So in order for her to stay anonymous, I'm like, well, let me throw something different up there. And
I just don't know if I could ever call you by your real name. That just ain't. That just don't hit.
Tiffany did not know my real name, and she's like, "People don't know who you are," and I'm like, "That's the point." You know.
You can call me anything you want as long as it's not too. There are a couple of words. If you came out with it, I'd come to Kentucky and beat the hell out of you.
Well, this is. I mean, this is obviously my real name, but one of them. But no, back in the day, I used to go. People used to call me Tullus a lot, like Tullus Hostilius, like the Roman warlord.
That's kind of cool.
And there's people that still call me that today.
What does your mom call you?
First name.
Okay. All right. I wondered because, like I said, you know, sometimes there are nicknames that, you know, just your mom or dad call you.
Nope. They call me Henry. And
see,
I don't feel like I'm old enough to be that yet. I'll be that when I'm 80.
Well, hey, look, I grew up next door to a Henry, and he literally saved my life and my son. So I love the name.
Okay.
Well, me too. I had a stuffed animal as a small child that I carried everywhere, and it was like my best friend / you know, he came alive at night when I was asleep, and his name was Henry. He was a little dog, and I love him. I mean,
Maybe
like,
this was all
have him.
foreboding. Maybe it was all foreboding to meet me.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It very well be. It's
Well, Stephen, I got a quick question for you because y'all know how we all tend to attract our kind, right?
Yeah.
So I've got a friend, and she is delightful. And one day she said, she goes, "Have you noticed?" And this is out of the blue. I know her at work. And she goes, "Have you noticed that since the government shut down, there's no more of those chemtrails in the air?" She goes, "You need to go outside and look." So we've been talking, and she's one of our people. But but I had noticed, and I wanted to ask y'all about that.
I will tell you something.
Yeah, that was what I thought was the very best thing about the government shutdown. I wasn't seeing chemtrails, and evidently somebody came up with some money from somewhere because they sprayed like crazy, and it just then we got rain. So
3 mornings this week, because I drive straight down to the water and then turn left to go to work. There were clouds so low that you could not you couldn't see the difference between where the water started and the clouds started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I mean, it was crazy. I'm sure I have. I've just not seen it in forever like that. But one day it was real cloudy, but the next day it was the fluffy white clouds. They were still right on the water. So it was weird.
When I was going to Jackson last Friday, I had to drive up for work. There was, and I don't know if they were burning something, but there were, between here and Hattiesburg, there was like cloud cover on the ground. It was so weird. And I didn't see anything on fire. But that's how thick it was. It was like smoke from a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Way.
Yep. All right, y'all. I have a carload full of kids just pulled up in my yard.
Uh-oh.
Well, we've been on way too
I
long.
know who they are.
We gave them an extra 30 minutes. I was only planning on doing 2 hours. Thank y'all. And thank Wyrd Realities I'm so thankful. And Stephen, I did a shout out. So watch the first couple of minutes when you get
All
off.
right. I'll have to go back to it. Yeah, we had. I was running kind of late today. We had a coworker retired. He'd been at the job for 37 years, so that kind of.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
awesome.
Congratulations to him.
I'm
Hopefully he
looking
gets
forward
it.
to retiring 1
Landa,
year before I
Dungeon
die.
Dan, Alan, love you guys.
Yeah.
Alan Gamboa, you're on my list. You're supposed to be here. You're not here. I know he had to
Yeah.
work, he had stuff to do. Everybody had stuff, but
Yep.
love you
All right.
guys. And
Love
here's
you
to another
guys.
5 years. And y'all know what to do. Stay weird.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. This program is made possible by the Wyrd Realities Network, where writers plot, weird kids dream, and conspiracy theorists definitely shouldn't have Wi-Fi after midnight. If you like this program, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us across the multiverse of social media. You'll find all our links at linktree/Wyrd Realities. That's weird, spelled WYRD. Until next time, keep your tinfoil hat handy and stay weird. After all the best folks are.